Hey, how's it going? Rusty Hazelden here, and welcome to the Art of NURBS Modeling, Volume 1. From curves to surfaces and everything in between, we'll dive deep into the Maya NURBS modeling toolset and put them to use by modeling a highly detailed hurricane lantern. To get the most out of this video, make sure to download the project files linked in the description and give this tutorial a go. In this video, we're going to finish modeling the hurricane lantern surfaces and then add a few finishing touches to the final model. If you're just jumping in at this point in the tutorial, open the scene file called Chapter 5. Otherwise, let's continue with the scene where we left off in the last video. Start by hiding the surfaces layer. Let's begin by creating the knob surface. Select the wire curve, then shift select the knob curve. From the Surfaces menu, select Extrude. Rename the new surface Knob Surface. We're now going to move the knob into place. In the channel box, type 3.5 in the Translate X field. Type 2.5 in the Translate Y field. Type -6 in the Translate Z field. Type 45 in the Rotate Y field. Then add the knob surface to the surfaces layer. Let's create the hoops that protect the globe. From the Create menu, select NURBS Primitives, Circle with Options. Reset the settings. Set the radius to 8. Change the sections to 16. And click Create. Let's switch to the right view. In the Layer Editor, hide the curves. Turn on the grid, and then enable grid snapping. Let's switch to the Move tool. Select the circle curve, and press the Insert or Home key to reposition the pivot point. If you're on a laptop with a limited keyboard, you can also hold down the D key to move the pivot point. Let's move the pivot point to the right side of the circle. Press the Insert or Home key again to exit pivot point mode. Then turn off grid snapping and hide the grid. Rename the circle Hoop Curve 1. In the channel box, type 8.8 in the Translate Y field. Type 4 in the Translate Z field. Type -51 in the Rotate X field. Let's adjust the view. From the Modify menu, select Center Pivot. Then, from the Edit menu, select Duplicate Special with Options. Reset the settings. Type -2 in the Translate Z field. Type 180 in the Rotate Y field. Type 1.05 in the Scale X field. Click Duplicate Special. Select the two hoop curves and add them to the Curves layer. In the Layer Editor, click on the Visibility checkbox to make the Curves layer visible. Select the wire curve, then Shift-select Hoop Curve 1. From the Surfaces menu, select Extrude. Rename the left surface Hoop Surface 1. Then select the wire curve and Shift-select Hoop Curve 2. From the Surfaces menu, select Extrude. And rename the right surface Hoop Surface 2. These wire hoops protect the glass globe. Select the left hoop and reverse the surface direction. Then select Hoop Surface 1 and Hoop Surface 2. Add them to the Surfaces layer. Let's turn off the image plane at this point. Select the image plane in the outliner. Switch to the attribute editor. Change the display mode to none to hide the reference image. Switch back to the channel box. Select all the curves, then add them to the curves layer. Hide the curves layer. Then display the surfaces layer. Switch to the perspective view. Let's create a simple transparent material for the globe surface so we can see through it in the viewport. Select the globe surface. Right-click over the surface and from the marking menu select Assign New Material. Click on the Fong material. In the Attribute Editor, click on the Fong 1 tab. Then rename the Fong material Glass. Move the transparency slider 90% of the way to the right to make the glass semi-transparent. Now let's create the burner. Switch to the channel box. In the layer editor, hide the surfaces layer and show the curves layer. Switch to the right view. From the Create menu, select NURBS Primitives, Sphere with Options. Reset the settings. Change the radius to 1.5. Set the number of sections to 16. And the number of spans to 8. And click Create. Rename the sphere Burner. Type 8.5 in the Translate Y field. Adjust the view to zoom in on the burner. Let's reshape the top of the burner. Right-click on the sphere. From the marking menu, select Hull. Select the two horizontal hulls near the top. Let's turn on the grid and then enable grid snapping. Switch to the Move tool, then double-click on it to display the tool settings. Expand the Move Snap settings and uncheck Retain Component Spacing. Move the hull upwards using the green manipulator. It should snap to the grid and flatten the top of the sphere. Turn off grid snapping and then turn off the grid. Turn Retain Component Spacing back on and then close the Tool Settings window. Press the F8 key twice to switch back to Object Mode. Add the burner to the surfaces layer. Switch to the perspective view. Next, let's create the wick. From the Create menu, select NURBS Primitives, Cylinder with Options. Reset the settings. Click Create. Then adjust the view. Type 9.5 in the Translate Y field. Rename the cylinder Wick. Press the F key to zoom in on the wick. Type 0.15 in the Scale Z field. Type 45 in the Rotate Y field. Let's use the Planar Surface tool to put an end cap on the cylinder. The Planar Surface tool is used to create flat surfaces from curves or isoparms. Right-click on the wick and from the marking menu, select Isoparm. Select the top isoparm. From the Surfaces menu, select Planar. In the channel box, rename the surface Wick Top. Select the wick and wick top surfaces. Then add them to the surfaces layer. Now turn off the curves layer and show the surfaces layer. Let's adjust the view. From the Edit menu, select Delete All by Type, History. Well, there you have it, a hurricane lantern modeled using NURBS curves and surfaces in Maya. This project has covered a wide range of NURBS modeling techniques that I'm sure you'll be able to apply to your next project. Well, let me know if you like this video. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next tutorial. If you have any questions or suggestions, post them down below in the comments and I'll take a look. I'm Rusty Hazelden, and thanks for watching.